Do you have jumping fish, arowana, any large species that just likes to jump out of your aquarium and can pounce through a lid? Stop what you're doing. This video is for you. I found the solution to jumping fish, specifically you arowana owners out there. Having arowana, something like this one, he has never jumped before, but I am worried about him jumping. So I'm extremely concerned and I need to do something about it because what I have on here right now is just a bunch of weights and 2x6s now, and they are strapped down. You can see by the child locks there. And that's done the trick. He's never really jumped though. He's actually been pretty calm. Yes, I know I need to still clean my glass. I found a solution for this. These are just your greenhouse board lids. You can get these. These are the best lids out there because if an arowana jumps on these lids, what'll happen is typically, they'll just bounce as long as your lids are reinforced. That always seems to be the problem. I always hear about stories of arowana jumping out of aquariums, and nothing bothers me more since, well, one of my arowana has jumped out of my aquarium, specifically Hades, who was my Asian arowana, and I haven't got another one since. Now, I haven't got another one simply because he jumped. It's because of the fact that I haven't found one that I loved yet that I was invested into. There are Asian arowana all over fish stores. You see it in my videos where I showcase Asian arowana all the time. It's my favorite fish. And I still haven't pulled the trigger. But I do have an arowana in there. He is a jumper, and we need to do something about it now because I've got the itch that he, A, may jump, or B, I might be getting more arowana. I don't know yet. So in order to prepare for that, we need to actually go to Home Depot and gather some supplies so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so now we're at Home Depot. We're gonna get the products we need, or the supplies we need, I guess you could say. We're gonna figure it out right now. Aisle 16. So what we're looking for are joist hangers. We are in the right area. So here's the concept. I'm buying these right here, and basically you fasten them in your wall. And if you notice with my tank, it's got a wall on each side. So what I thought about doing is grabbing these joist hangers. Simple, right? They'll be strapped in. They are flimsy like this, but then they get strapped in. And then you have one on each side. And then a 2x6, which you can paint them and customize them, will go slide inside. So if the air want to jump, it'll just bounce off of this, which again is fastened into the wall. It's not going to move, can't go anywhere. Now the cool thing is on this side, it's blocked. On the other side, you just slide it out. Well, this will give me quick and easy access to the lid if I ever need to open it, which I will constantly all the time. One on each side, another, and another, and the boards go across the tank. That's 4 boards. I can't ever see an arowana getting through that. And just like that, it fit like a charm. All right, so now that we've gathered our supplies, we're at home and we're gonna start measuring out the 2x6s. So basically what I'm doing is just laying them down. I've already got my measurements from inside of the aquarium. I'm measuring out 86 inches, and that's exactly from wall to wall what I need to cut. So then I grab my skill saw and I cut out the 86 inches. Pretty simple. Oh, by the way, I couldn't find my sawhorses, but if you look over to the left, you're gonna see my dog Sosa. He's the foreman today, just making sure I don't kill myself while I cut. From that point, I grabbed my trend-clad rust paint. You can get it from any hardware store. Any paint will be fine. And I'm just simply spray painting the entire piece of wood just to give it a little bit more of a better look to it. Even though it is hidden, I still want it to look good. And it takes roughly 3 to 4 hours tops to dry on a nice warm day. As you can see here, 3 hours later, it's dry. And from here, you're gonna see the joist hangers just showing you what they're gonna look like on the wall, but you can spray paint them black. However, I chose not to. And then for extra protection, I have cabinet lock straps, child lock straps. Simple as heck, and you can just stick them on your aquarium with 3M tape. It's pretty sturdy and strong, and that will give you some reinforcement. As you can see, they just pop off. You can lift your lid up, do your maintenance, take it off, whatever have you, and then you can just snap them back on by just pulling down on the lever and snapping them back in place. And at this point, we're pretty much done. I'm just hiking up the 2x6 on top of the aquarium. It is a tall aquarium, and I'm a little guy, so I gotta climb up there. But once I make my way up, I just gotta move around the plants pretty gently. I ended up breaking a couple stems of the plants, but that's not a big deal. moving them out of the way, but the wood actually snapped into place pretty easy. Now, the one thing I would recommend is just giving yourself a little extra room when you're sliding in the wood, so that way you can just pop it out easier. That would be my best recommendation. But overall, the process is really easy, no stress on the aquarium, just above, and I'm happy with the turnout. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. We're all said and done. I'm extremely happy with the result. I don't even think a gorilla could break through this aquarium. Now, let me tell you why. I'm going to give you one final rundown. Child locks running all down the side of the aquarium, the joist hanger. The 2x6 running across to another joist hanger, which is on the other side of the wall. And child locks across the entire aquarium and across the lids. I want to make something very clear. This sheet and this sheet over here are all one unit. This is actually two. I've cut it into two pieces. So if you see, if I have a child lock right here, I've actually cut it open so I can just flip it over. Now, what a lot of people will do typically is they'll cut a feeding hole, whatever have you, and you can always put a child lock right here if that's what you want to do. However, I felt the need not to do it as of right now. I could easily just put a sandbag on here, but I'll most likely put a child lock right here as well. You can never be too safe. Oh yeah, I hung a plant light up here. How's it look? You remember this stand was never finished either, so what I did is I just got some curtains and a curtain rod and just put it in front, and it actually looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now, this method may not make sense for some of you people. If you don't have walls on either side of the aquarium, it may not work for you. However, if you do, I highly suggest this. Now, you'll notice in the start of the video where I talked about putting 4 2x6s on there, and I only stuck with one. The reason for that is I just overdid it. Once I put the first one on, I quickly realized the strength of this aquarium. A 2x6 can withstand over 1,000 pounds of force. So that braced in on either side, there's no flex from a fish of any sort whatsoever, especially something like an Arowana. If you have large fish like Arowana, Arapaima, monster fish, fish that just naturally have some force and can jump out of your aquarium, I would highly suggest something like the child lock method and the joist hanger method. The one thing I told myself, if I ever have another Arowana, which I do, an albino, I don't want another one to jump again. I had to go through that. I had to make that video. It felt terrible, and we want to take care of our pets. So in the best way possible, let's make sure that they're safe in their home aquarium. But as you can see, like I'm tugging and this thing is not moving. And a big fish like an Arowana isn't fitting through a very small gap like that. Here, nothing there, that's pulling hard. And here, nothing at all. Like, look at that. You can't get out of that. There's no way. Impossible. Foolproof, easy plan, and it doesn't look bad. This is along the back. You can put some plants along the back. You can, and I mean, with the height of this aquarium, I'm 5'8", 5'9", 5'9.5" with forces. And well, I made this stand extremely high, and the top of my head just hits the top of the aquarium. So I hope this video helps somebody out, gives you different ideas, different methods. There's numerous ways that you can do this, but I've always been looking for ways to protect our fish from jumping out of aquariums ever since I had that horrific accident. And I thought this was the best method possible. I had looked on YouTube and I hadn't seen this method before. So this joist hanger method with a big 2x6, 2x8, you can get very creative. You can use 2x4s. There's lots of different methods that you can use, but however, I chose to use the one 2x6, paint it black to make it look good, and go from there. So if you thought this video was helpful, I'm going to ask you to do me one favor. Give this video a big thumbs up, comment below what you think, what methods you've tried to secure your lids, and if you've had any horrific accidents like me, and what you did to avoid that in the future. Before I go, here's a preview for next week's video. Enjoy, have a good one.